All right, Chapter 8, Get Customers with Facebook Ads. All right, now we're going to focus on getting targeted traffic to your website, and particularly a place on your website where you can get an email address. All right, so in this case, you see an ad on the left-hand side that drives people to a lead page on our right-hand side where we can capture an email address. All right, so how do you set up this type of an ad? Well, first thing, you go to your ads manager. So remember, if you had difficulty finding your ads manager, just go to facebook.com/ads/manager. Just go ahead and type that right into your browser and click the green Create Ad button. Now we're going to send people to your website. All right, so there's lots and lots of different types of ads. Don't let that overwhelm you. We're not going to get crazy right at this moment on all the cool things that you can do. Facebook has a very, very powerful advertising platform, so we want to start simple. All right, so send people to your website. All right, now remember, again, it's you have a selection at the top: auction versus reach and frequency. The default will be auction. Leave it at the default, because until you start to get more advanced, you don't want to play around with the reach and frequency until you really know what you're doing. And so just leave it at the default, send people to your website, name your campaign, in this case viral Facebook ads campaign, and click continue. Okay, so now we're starting the process of your website clicks ads. So remember, where you see this new audience, all right, remember we just created an audience and we save that audience. So at the very top, this is the, right after we select our website clicks, the next thing we do is select audience. Well, we just created an audience. So we select this drop down button that says new audience and go down and select the one we just created. The one we just created was 1.5 million people over the age of 44 who live in the US who like Jack Canfield and others. So that's the name of the audience, and since I named it that way, it's really easy to pick which audience it is, so I just select that one. All right, and now we move on to the next section, which is placements. Again, the default is going to be automatic placements. Leave it at the default here, that's the default, but if you must, select edit placements. And some people will not want it to be shown on Instagram, some people won't want it to be shown on audience networks, but I would say, again, leave it at the defaults for starters until you start to get the hang of this Facebook ads thing. All right, so in this instance, it's going to show in the Facebook news feed and on the right-hand column, okay? So that's the placements. And then the next is the budget. Start small. Don't go crazy. Start with $10 a day, $20 a day until you get the hang of this, and it's going to take a while to get the hang of it, but just know, if you say, okay, I got to do this 10 times, and I'm going to figure this out. So when I run these ads, I'm going to spend, $5 a day, and I'm just going to run them and figure it out and see how it works. And then I'm going to go to $10 a day when I start to get results. And then I'm going to go to $20 a day and start to get better results. And just know, your first ad you're going to get, you're probably not going to get good results. That's why we do at least 10 versions of an ad, okay? So set the budget. In this case, $20 a day. You can run your ad set continuously, or the default will set a start and an end date. It'll default to 1 month, okay? And then again, all this stuff, leave it at the default, okay? The optimization ad, leave it at the default. Bid amount, when you get charged, ad scheduling, delivery type, leave all that at default. Don't touch it until you get more advanced and comfortable with knowing what you're doing. So the good news is you don't have to do anything. You just leave it at the default, all right? The next is your format, okay? So format is, you can put in a single image or you can put in multiple images. And then Facebook has a new slideshow option. So it's got some cool new slideshow options, but we're just going to keep it simple. Remember, just make this easy on yourself. Start with one image, okay? So that's your image right there. Just click on the image. You're just going to select one image, and you're going to upload it. And so the way that you do that, you click add more images, you select the image, you upload it, and it says on the right hand side, so if you forget what the recommended image size, it'll show you right here. But the, so it says 1200 by 628. Don't worry if you don't remember that. The image ratio there, it's 1.91 to 1. That's almost 2 to 1. So just think about it. If you had two perfect squares side by side, that means it's going to be 2 squares wide and 1 square tall. That's about 2 to 1, okay? Any PowerPoint presentation, any keynote presentation is going to be about this 2 to 1 ratio, okay? So you can just, open up a keynote and put two pictures side by side and take a screenshot and you've got your ad. So if you still want help with that, you can go to www.viraladtemplate.com and you can download my viral ad template. That's www.viraladtemplate.com. It's a very, very basic, there's a PowerPoint template or a keynote template, and it's just like I said, there's space enough side by side to put in two square pictures, and that makes your 2 to 1 aspect ratio, okay? So it works great. All right, so then the next is your format. So now this is where you're going to add in your web URL. So you go and you add in your web URL, and there'll be this little blue drop down. You got to click on that little blue drop down, and then it'll grab the web URL. And you'll know that it grabs the web URL because you'll see it populate the text underneath. And it'll do that automatically. You just have to click the button. You don't have to do anything else. And then now you've got your headline. So one thing that I see a lot of people get a little confused with is where does the headline go and the text go? And they go in different places. So the headline right here goes right here. So the headline is actually underneath the picture. Most people think the headline should be above the picture, but how it works on Facebook, the headline is the big bold words immediately underneath the picture. Okay, so that's the headline. That's where it goes, right there. The next is the text, and so you write the text in on the left-hand side, and you see it appears above the picture. Okay, so you just write your text in, it appears above the picture, and then you can put in a call to action button. All right, I've tried a lot of different, I've experimented a lot of different times. I really like Learn More. Learn More seems to work the best for us, but there is no, quote, best, if you will. You have to experiment and try it yourself. But just start with Learn More, and that works. And then the last is this news feed link description. The news feed link description goes underneath the headline. All right, and you can write that underneath the headline. Okay, and now, so then the last part is the placement. Okay, so this is what it's going to give you a preview, and this is what the placement looks like on your desktop. This is, okay, so this is your desktop newsfeed. This is what the placement looks like on your mobile phone. This is what the placement looks like on the right-hand column on the desktop. This is what the placement looks like on Instagram, and this is what it looks like on the Audience Network. So it gives you a preview of what your ad's going to look like, okay? So that's really all you need to do. Then you click Place Order, all right? Just click that big green button, okay? Now, then it gives you the opportunity. You can click Create a Similar Ad, or you can click Track Conversions, all right? As I mentioned, when we want to do 10 different versions of an ad, the way that you do it is you just click Create a Similar Ad, and then you just go and change the audience. And you can do that, 10 times in a row. It's like they make it, click and you're done. I mean, it's really quite simple. But if this is the very first time you're setting it up, just finish setting it up, click Continue, and then it's going to take you to the page. Now, this is an image of an ad that we ran for like 7 or 8 months, okay? And so these are the results after running the ad for 7 or 8 months. You can see 5,710 emails at about $1.47 a piece. So we got a lot of emails off of this ad. It worked really, really well. But this was not our first ad, okay? I've run lots of different ads to get these kinds of results. So I just keep mentioning that because don't expect to get great results in your first ad. Expect that you need to do 10 different tries. But if you go in saying, okay, I know that that's all I have to do. It's really, it's a learning curve like anything else. But Facebook has made it pretty darn easy to go and create 10 different versions of the ads. And it's going to take me some time, the very first time I try that. So I'm just going to do it. And then I'm going to see the best performer out of those 10 performers. That's the best way to set yourself up for success. The way that, the mistake that I see a lot of other business owners make And when we go in with the expectation of I'm going to try one and I should get results, I will be disappointed. If I thought I was going to get great results on my first ad, I am for sure going to be disappointed. So instead, go in with the mindset of we got to try 10 different times and 9 of them are not going to do so great. One of them is probably going to be okay. And then we're going to improve on that one. That's what the best marketers do. That's what the best marketers know. So I will see you now in chapter 9 so that you can laser target your audience with custom audiences.